People keep asking me why my fries are so crispy and full of flavor. Right here, I've got 3 large potatoes, already peeled. I'm going to cut them into strips, just like this. Now I'm placing the potato strips in a bowl, covering them with water, and using my hands to give them a good rinse. We'll let them soak for about 20 minutes. After that, I drain the water and dry the potatoes really well with a clean towel. And before I forget, tell me what city you're watching from so I can send you a big shout out. Today's shout out goes to Nonhlan Lamsiza from South Africa. I'm so glad you're enjoying our recipes. Next, I'm transferring them to a bowl and adding 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, black pepper to taste, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and 3 tablespoons of wheat flour. Then we mix everything together until the fries are evenly coated. In a separate bowl, I'm making a quick dipping sauce with half chopped onion, 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of mustard, and a pinch of black pepper. Just give that a good mix. Now I've got a pot with hot oil. Once it's heated up, I'm adding the fries and frying them until they're golden and crispy. Guys, these fries come out so crunchy and delicious. You have to try this. Make them at home and let me know how it goes. I'm sure you're going to love them. When they're done, I transfer them to a plate Tell me, how do you make fries at home? I'd love to hear your method. Let's give them a try with the sauce we made. By the way, do you have a secret for getting your fries super crispy? I'd love to hear it.
How did I not learn this before? A brilliant trick I learned from an Italian friend. To start today's recipe, we're going to need 2½ cups of milk. We're going to add ½ a cup of water. And then we'll add 250 grams of pasta. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to Emma Johnson from Miami, Florida. I'm so happy you're enjoying our recipes. Notice that the milk is slowly starting to thicken. Now I'll add 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm sure you're going to be surprised by the final result, and you'll want to make this often. I'll add 1 teaspoon of salt, ½ a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika. I learned this secret from the owner of a 5-star restaurant, and I never ate pasta any other way after that. Now I'll add some mozzarella cheese. The amount is up to you. Use as much as you like. If you want, you can also add other types of cheese like Parmesan or cheddar. Cover and let it cook for 15 minutes. In another pan, I'm going to drizzle some olive oil. Add 200 grams of bacon. I'm sure you'll come back here to thank me after you try it. Using a spatula, stir while frying. Add 1 chopped onion, 3 minced garlic cloves. I'm certain this will become part of your routine, just like it became part of mine. This is the secret that big restaurant owners don't want you to find out. I started saving so much on lunch after learning this. Now add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and ½ a teaspoon of black pepper. Look how beautiful it's getting. And you can't even imagine how good it smells. If you don't believe this pasta recipe is as amazing as I say, try making it at home and then come back to tell me what you think. It's a perfect option for busy days. It's so easy that it's ready in less than 30 minutes. This is exactly how it should look. Transfer the bacon to a plate. That's where we'll build our dish. My family asks me to make it almost every day. Finally, add the pasta we prepared earlier. It's so good you won't be able to eat just a little. I learned this trick from my Italian friend, who told me this is his favorite way of eating pasta.
Everyone's frying flour now after seeing this genius idea. Let's start by adding 700 grams of chicken wings into a large bowl. Next, we're seasoning them with 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 3 tablespoons of mustard, and 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Now mix everything really well so the wings soak up all that flavor. Now I'm covering the bowl with plastic wrap and popping it in the fridge to marinate for 30 minutes. Meanwhile, in a pan, we'll pour enough oil to cover the bottom. Once the oil is hot, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of butter and stirring until it melts. Now I'm adding half a cup of flour to the pan and giving it a good stir. Time to add our chicken wings to the hot oil. Let them fry until they're nice and golden brown. And before I forget, tell me what city you're watching from so I can give you a big shout out. Today's shout out goes to Rose Angwa Eyita from Uganda. I'm so glad you're enjoying the recipes. I promise once you try it, you won't regret it, and your family will keep asking you to make chicken like this again and again. It's become a total staple in my house. Every time I make it, there's never any left. Look at that golden crust. I've got to show you how amazing these came out. So tell me, how do you usually make chicken at home? I'd love to know your twist. This recipe was such a pleasant surprise. Ever since I learned it, I haven't stopped making it. This chicken turns out crispy on the outside and super juicy on the inside. Absolutely delicious. Hope you're enjoying this one. I'm pretty sure your friends will be asking you for the recipe too.
Everyone is putting chicken in the air fryer after seeing this genius idea. I'll start by adding 500 grams of chicken wings to this bowl. I'll add 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. I love making recipes with garlic. I'll also add some olive oil to taste. This exclusive preparation will change how you see simple recipes. Now, I'll mix everything well with my hands. And before I forget, let me know which city you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to Michael Ross from New York. I'm so happy you're enjoying my recipes. Look at how it's coming together. I bet you're finding this super easy to make. After mixing, I'll transfer everything to an air fryer. This time, we won't be using oil to fry. This is a unique cooking method. I'll arrange the pieces with a spatula so they all cook evenly. When you make chicken wings at home, what kind of seasoning do you like to add? If you know any special secrets, let me know. I'd love to hear them. Now, I'll close the air fryer and let it cook for 10 minutes. After that, I'll use a spatula to stir all the pieces. This helps prevent anything from sticking to the fryer. With just a few ingredients and a simple preparation, these wings will surprise you with their incredible flavor. This is one of those recipes you try once and never forget because it's so delicious and easy. I love making creative recipes like this. The flavor is perfect. I'll let it fry for another 10 minutes. Now it looks great, and I can move on to the next step. In a bowl, I'll add 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon of barbecue sauce. When combined, these ingredients create an explosion of flavors. You'll see. I'll also add 1 tablespoon of mustard. Would you add anything else here? If you know a secret ingredient, let me know. Next, I'll add 1 tablespoon of honey. I love making recipes with honey. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and half a teaspoon of black pepper. I'll mix everything well until all the ingredients are fully combined. The best part of this recipe is that it's quick, easy, and requires only a few ingredients. That's why it became a regular dish in my house, and I know it will in yours too. Now it's perfect. This sauce is the ultimate match for chicken wings. It's the secret ingredient that makes the flavor incredible. Now just transfer everything to a serving dish and enjoy. If you loved this recipe, you're going to love my next tips. I still have many more secret recipes to share, so stay tuned so you don't miss anything.
This is what I do when I have ripe bananas at home. It turned out amazing. For today's recipe, I'm going to add 4 sliced bananas to a blender, along with 2 cups of milk. Also 3 eggs. Then I'll cover the blender to mix all the ingredients very well. I love making this recipe for when I'm on a diet. It's very healthy and light to eat. Once the mixture is ready, I'll set it aside to use later. Now, I'll place a cup of sugar in a pan, and I'll stir it well while it melts. Once it reaches the right consistency, I'll gradually add half a cup of water, stirring constantly. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching us from so I can send a special greeting. Today's greeting goes to Lily Thompson from Nebraska. I'm glad you're enjoying our recipes. Once the mixture is ready, I'll transfer it to a metal baking dish. This mixture is essential to keep the recipe from sticking when you take it out of the dish. And I'll spread it well on all the sides of the dish. My family always asks me to make this dessert for them on weekends. Not only is it super quick to make, but it's also incredibly delicious. Next, I'll pour the first mixture into the metal dish. Then, I'll cover it with aluminum foil. Besides being super quick and easy to make, this recipe is also very economical. I usually have all the ingredients already at home, so I don't have to go out and spend extra money on ingredients. Now I'll place the metal dish into a large pan that's big enough to fill it with water. Send this recipe to your friend who loves banana. I'm sure he'll love making it and will appreciate you sending it to him. Make this recipe at home and let me know how it turned out. I'd love to hear that you made it and liked the final result. Now, I'll cover the pan and let the recipe cook for 35 minutes. After that, I'll remove the lid and the aluminum foil to check if the recipe is done. I'll do this by inserting a knife into it and checking if it comes out dry when I take it out. Then, I'll take the recipe out of the pan and place a plate over the metal dish to flip the recipe over. Now I'll slice a piece of it to transfer to another plate. Do you know any recipes that use the same ingredients and are similar to this one? Send it to me so I can try it at home too. I'd love the experience. Look at how beautiful today's dessert is turning out. I can't wait to try it when it's done. I'll add a little more of the prepared topping to enhance the flavor of the recipe.
tuna, egg, and avocado. A perfect combination like you've never seen before. To start our recipe, I'll use 4 hard-boiled eggs and 170 grams of tuna. I place the ingredients in a bowl and mash everything with a fork, breaking up larger pieces and combining until I get a consistent paste. This step defines the flavor. Tell me, have you ever made a recipe with tuna? Next, I add half an avocado to our recipe. With this ingredient, our recipe becomes even more delicious. I scoop it out and mix slowly. The color changes immediately, the green spreads through the light flakes, and the texture gains a silky touch that promises a refreshing bite. Now, let's add 2 tablespoons of natural yogurt. I pour it gently over the mixture, enhancing the final creamy touch. I add half a teaspoon of salt, and now mix all the ingredients very well. And before I forget, tell me from which city you're watching so I can send you a special hug. Today's hug goes to Emily Johnson from Austin, Texas. I'm very happy you're enjoying our recipes. I continue mixing, scraping the bottom, until everything is uniform and well combined. This is the part that defines the result. As I mix, the color becomes uniform, and the texture shows that everything has come together. This step seems simple, but ensures the balanced flavor that makes each bite worthwhile. In a pan, I brush butter. I spread it with the brush from corner to corner, leaving just a thin film over the hot metal. Now, let's toast 2 bread slices. The slices touch the hot surface and start to sizzle. I wait for the first golden mark to appear, turn them carefully, let them brown on the other side, and remove them when the crust is firm but still soft in the center. I spread the mixture over one of the halves, creating a generous layer that reaches the edges, ready to unite both sides. I join the parts, press lightly with a fork to seal, and cut diagonally, forming 2 intact triangles, perfect for serving. I observe how the edges align and the bread holds the filling firmly. It already makes me want to grab one right now. I hold one of the triangles, press lightly, and see the filling emerge between the toasted layers. The aroma jumps out immediately, confirming that the combination is spot on. The crispy crust embraces the soft filling, proof that every step of the preparation was worth it.
When I cook broccoli like this, everyone asks me for the recipe. To start today's recipe, I'm going to slice a broccoli into very small pieces. After that, I'll slice those pieces again into even smaller pieces. Now I'll transfer the broccoli to a large bowl. Next, I'll add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of chili flakes, 50 grams of Parmesan, 2 eggs, and I'll mix the ingredients very well. Once it's ready, I'll transfer the mixture to a pan already greased with olive oil. I'll spread it out evenly in the pan to cook everything equally. Then, I'll cover the pan to let it cook for 10 minutes. After that time, I'll use a plate to flip the recipe over to the other side. It might seem like a difficult recipe to prepare, but it's incredibly easy to make. I'll add 3 tablespoons of tomato sauce on top of the dish. And I'll spread it all over. After that, I'll add some mozzarella on top to taste. The texture the mozzarella gives to this recipe is amazing. I'll add slices of a tomato on top. Also, I'll add some bacon to taste. I love recipes with bacon. It goes well with any meal. I'll sprinkle some oregano on top of the dish. Then I'll cover the pan again and let it cook for another 5 minutes. After that time, it's ready. Now it's time to transfer it to the final plate, slice it up, and enjoy today's meal. Look how beautiful this recipe turned out. I can't wait to enjoy it. Make it at home and let me know how it turned out. I'd love to hear that you made it and enjoyed it too. I hope you liked this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. When I make chicken wings like this, there's nothing left. To start, I'll place 500 grams of chicken wings in a bowl. Next, I'll add water to cover the ingredient. Then, I'll add 1 tablespoon of baking soda. I'll stir a little and let it sit for 2 minutes. In a pan, I'll add 2 tablespoons of butter. I'll stir until the butter is completely melted. Then I'll add the chicken wings. With this chicken wing recipe, you'll discover how something so simple can be so extraordinary. This dish is one of those you'll want to repeat often. It's easy to make and so delicious that no one can resist. Once they start to brown, I'll turn them over to cook both sides. Now I'll add 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of paprika. I'll mix to incorporate the flavor of the seasonings. And before I forget, let me know where you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to John Carter from New York, USA. I'm so happy you're enjoying our recipes. In this bowl, I'll add 3 tablespoons of ketchup, the juice of 1 whole lime, 3 crushed garlic cloves, 1 tablespoon of mustard, and 2 tablespoons of honey. I'll mix until everything is fully combined. I'm sure this dish will amaze you with how delicious it is. Next, I'll pour our sauce over the chicken wings in the pan. I'll stir a bit so all the wings are covered with the sauce. This dish has already become a classic at my house. I'll cover and let it cook for 10 minutes. When the time is up, just look at how delicious our recipe is turning out. If you're looking for a practical and delicious meal, these chicken wings are exactly what you need. I'll transfer our recipe to a glass dish. This dish is so practical you'll want to prepare it often. It's perfect for any occasion, whether it's a special dinner or a family meal. The combination of seasonings in this chicken wing recipe is perfect. The flavor is balanced and irresistible. On top, I'll add a bit of parsley to taste. Guys, I love this recipe, and I'm sure you and your whole family will too. I make it every weekend, and whenever I do, there's nothing left because it's so delicious.
If you have bananas and eggs in your house, make this recipe for your breakfast. To start, I'll need 2 bananas already peeled, and I'll use a fork to mash them very well, just like this. Once they reach this consistency, I'll transfer them to a large bowl. Now, I'll add 2 eggs to the recipe. To mix the ingredients very well. After that, I'll add 4 tablespoons of oats. This recipe might seem difficult, but it's actually very practical and quick to make. I'll mix the ingredients well in the bowl. Next, I'll add a layer of olive oil to a pan. And I'll spread it very well over the surface of the pan. After that, I'll pour in the banana mixture prepared earlier. And I'll spread it evenly over the pan. I'll cover the pan and let it cook for 5 minutes. After that time, I'll use a plate to flip the recipe over. I'll cover the pan again and let it cook for another 5 minutes. After that time, it's ready. Now, just transfer the recipe to the final dish. I love recipes with bananas. They add so much to any meal. I'll cut a piece and place it on the final plate. The taste of bananas is so good. I love recipes with them. Look how beautiful this recipe turned out. I can't wait to enjoy it. To complement the recipe, I'll add honey to taste. Make it at home and tell me how it turned out. I'd love to hear that you made it and loved it. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video until now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
I've got 6 eggs here. I'm gonna put them in some boiling water and then let the eggs cook for about 2 minutes. This recipe is awesome and you can definitely make this at home so easily. Stir and gently cook the eggs for a few more minutes. You can just see that the eggs have started cooking. Now we're gonna let them cook for another 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes has passed, take the eggs out of the water and just drain any excess water that's there. We don't need the cooking water for this recipe, so you can get rid of it. Then put the eggs on a plate and we're gonna finish off this process. Be careful because the water and the eggs are super hot. Just gently remove the eggs, set them aside. And then just using a spoon, we're gonna mash these eggs up really well. If you want, you can use a spoon or a fork for this process, it doesn't matter. Just chop them up into small pieces. It's gonna look something like this. They're still really hot, so be careful. Now after mashing up all the eggs, we're gonna set those aside to cool. And in the next step, we're gonna heat up a pan with a small amount of oil. In that hot oil, add in 1 chopped white onion. We're also going to need 2 large chopped garlic cloves, half of a chopped green bell pepper, and 1 chopped red bell pepper. Don't forget, we're also gonna need a chopped tomato, so add that in too. Then saute all these ingredients well over a medium heat. After they've been sauteing, you'll notice that the tomato is nice and soft and your kitchen probably smells amazing, just like mine does. Let's season that with a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of thyme. Mix everything well, make sure the seasonings are well incorporated. Now, of course, all these seasonings are totally optional. You can substitute, swap, increase, decrease, any of them. It's totally customizable for your taste preference. This is definitely worth making at home. I know it's gonna make your breakfast so much tastier. I love making this recipe for my family's breakfast. They're always asking me for it. After stirring and mixing everything well, the veggies are almost ready. The trick is to cook and saute these veggies on a low heat, so be patient and take your time. The longer you saute, the more flavorful it's gonna become. Definitely worth trying these flavors at home. I always make this recipe and everyone always asks me for it. It really is a delicious omelet you can make at home for any meal. Step away from the usual and change up your breakfast. I think this one's gonna be a winner. This omelet is so perfect, the results are amazing. When the veggies are nice and tender, they're ready to go. So go ahead and turn off the heat, and then we're gonna pour all these veggies over the eggs. There is no way this recipe won't turn out perfect. I just love how colorful this recipe makes the eggs. And just like that, our recipe is done. It doesn't need any sides, and you can serve it right away while it's still piping hot. If you prefer, you can add a little more salt, but it's time to dig in. Make this at home, and you can thank me later. Enjoy!